Hey, what's up, PokéFans? My name is Benedict, and today we have a look at the top 4 Austrian Nationals deck list, which is Mega Manectric, of course, Mega Manectric and Jolteon. The player was Lukas Peer, and afterwards we have an interview with him. So the Pokemon lineup is very straight. He played the 4-3 split, Manectric, Mega Manectric. 2 Jolteon and 2 Shaman. The Jolteon is mainly to block like Night Munchers, because if you attack with the second attack, Flash Ray, it says that damage from basic Pokemon, you don't receive damage from basic Pokemon, so that comes in handy. And it also has free retreat, which is cool. The support lineup is 1 AC for utility, 2 Lysander to grab whatever you want and kill it, 1 Giovanni Scheme to boost the damage output and also to draw more cards, 1 N and 3 Sycamore, so as well pretty much straight. What's kind of interesting, he played the 1 Tool Retriever, so for example he can attach a Spirit Link, evolve, and now if he has another Manectric on the bench, which he could evolve but doesn't have a Spirit Link, he would have to he would have to give the enemy 1 free turn, so but in that case he can play the Tool Retriever, pick up the Spirit Link from the active and put the Spirit Link on the benched Manectric and evolve that one, which comes in handy. Yeah, he played 3 Manectric Spirit Link, and he also played the 1 Muscle Band. He can, of course, grab the Spirit Link with the Tool Retriever and attach Muscle Band and boost with Giovanni's even higher. But he also can attach the Muscle Band to the Jolteon, because Jolteon's second attack, Flash Ray, does 70 damage, and with the Muscle Band does 90, so most EX Pokemon's golden number is 180, so with the Muscle Band you can 2-shot them. The Stadium cards of choice are 1 Paracity and 2 Rough Seas. And yeah, going into the items, he played 2 Escape Rope, so he have a lot of utility, because most Pokemon have free retreat. You can pick up something with AZ, you can Escape Rope, so you have a lot of utility and can often enough pick whatever you want to hit. Obviously 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker. As a one-off, he has Battle Compressor to dump one of supporters, and of course to dump Lightning Energies. He played the 4 Max Elixir to accelerate energy faster, 2 Trainer's Mates for consistency, and he also played the 4 DC. 4 DC, as you can see, the Manectric's Overrun, Assault Laser, sorry, attack has a Lightning Energy and a Colorless Energy, and Mega Manectric as well, so you have 1 free, let's say, type of energy that you can use as well, and in that case use the double colorless energies. One reason being that Flash Ray needs a lightning and a double colorless, so 2 energy attachments, or a Max Elixir DC can get Jolteon going. And also you can attach a DCE to a Shaman which is stranded in the active and use Scary Turn. So hang on for the interview, and we'll see you in a second. Hey, what's up, PokéFans? My name is Benedict, and we will have the interview with Lukas Peer, aka Lukas Peer, aka the Phantom, in a minute. But I have to apologize for the fact that I probably forgot to turn off the laptop microphone during the Skype call, so my voice is kinda, I don't know, it's not perfect, it's okay. It feels like an echo in some sort, and that's the reason why I decided to do the first 2 or 3 questions, to re-record them with the decklist screen, and during the interview then later on, I think it's okay. It's not, as I said, it's not ideal, but yeah, I have to apologize for the bad audio quality from my side in that case. I have to say that I'm not a YouTuber of some sort. I just started with doing these videos. Like this is my third or fourth video, so I try to improve with every video in terms of quality and of the content. And yeah, so as I said, I apologize for the audio quality. I think you can listen to it if you want to. So using headphones is advised because it makes it easier to understand. And yeah, of course, the first question to Lucas was how he managed to get to top 8. How his Swiss rounds went. So enjoy the answer.
Well, we played 5 Swiss rounds, and yeah, let's go. Round 1, I played against Nightmatch Vespiquen, which is actually my worst matchup. But I got lucky there because my opponent was a fairly new player, and well, he played Nightmatch Vespiquen, but actually he didn't because he didn't play any Shamans. So,
Okay.
well, yeah. So when he flipped over the Joltik and the combi on his bench, I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. And then he started playing, and because he went first, and he set up without any Shaman, and he played weird supporter cards, which he discarded with a Sycamore, like Pokemon Santa Lady in a Nightmatch deck, which was really weird. So I felt more confident when I saw them, and yeah, basically I won the game. I 2-0'd him because, well, he wasn't very good. Round 2, I faced a Metal deck, and Metal is one of the 2 decks why I chose to play Mega Manectric, because before the tournament, I analyzed the metagame with my friend Luca, and we came to the conclusion that we expect many Metal decks on the one side, and on the other side we expect many Dark Giratina decks. So we were both very good prepared for the Metal matchup, and my game plan was to just get out Jolteon with energies and as few Pokemon on my side as possible, and then just run the game with Jolteon. And I managed to do that twice, so I won the game. I 2-0'd this opponent too. So yeah, that was round 2. So we played 5 rounds, so I knew, okay, 1 win and I'll be in tops. But it turned out to be a little difficult because in the next round I played against Mega Manectric Ho-Oh, and when he flipped Mega Manectric, I felt pretty confident because I think that Mega Manectric is the deck which fits the best for me. So I really know the deck well, and I know to play the mirror, and I felt really confident. But then he benched Ho-Oh, and I was like, oh my god, that's difficult. Because Ho-Oh has the ability to heal itself, and I don't deal enough damage because he also played Fighting Fury Bell, and then there was this Ho-Oh with 220 HP, I think.
Yeah, it's 220.
Yeah, and with the ability to heal itself for 50 each turn. So I really struggled, but I was lucky one game because he had a really rough start, and I had a perfect setup, and I was able to damage his regular Manectric EX with a turn 2 Turbo Bolt, and then he evolved into Mega Manectric with a Spirit Link, and he used Rough Seas. He used Rough Seas and attacked with his Mega Manectric, so it had 80 damage, and then I in the next turn I used the Mega Manectric with my Giovanni to knock it out.
Yeah.
And then because he had a really rough start, he had to bench 2 Shamans, and then I played Lysander for the 2 Shamans to win that game. But the second game didn't go so well, so he pretty much had the upper hand the whole game, and eventually he took 6 prizes. And yeah, and the third game went to time, so we ended up tying there.
Okay.
So round 4, I was paired against Luca, which I already mentioned earlier, my teammate.
Yeah.
He played Mega Rayquaza, which is actually a slightly favorable matchup for me, I'd say. But I think you've already seen my list, so
Yeah.
I only play 4 draw supporters, and which was fine during testing, but in those 2 games I dead through 2 times, so I really had no chance because he was setting up very quickly and he just steamrolled me, so I had no chance. And suddenly after a 2-0 start I was 2-1-1 and had to win the last round. And I was because I lost so quickly against Luca, I was calculating all the time, okay, which matchup will I face, how do I prepare for it? I had a look around the tables, okay, what are they playing, what are the what do the players play, which I will face maybe. And I came to the conclusion that I will face a Darkrai Giratina Garbodor deck. And so I did in round 4 and round 5. And yeah, I was really well prepared for this matchup too, because Jolteon just sweeps in this matchup. It's because they don't have a counter.
Yeah, sure.
He didn't play Malamar or Escape Rope. During testing I found out that those were cards which are annoying, but with Escape Rope you can deal, but against Malamar you can't do shit if you flip tails. So, but yeah, he didn't play that. So yeah, that was my Swiss rounds. Yeah, and then I was 3-1-1, but there was one problem because we were exactly 32 players. And with only 5 rounds, that meant that 2 guys with 3-1-1 will bubble. And they took so long to post the standings, and I was really nervous, but in the end I turned out to place 7th. So I was really, really happy there.
Okay, so my second question to Lucas was how he felt going into top 8, because I knew that there was a possibility of him getting to top 22, saving himself the top 22 spot in Europe for the day 2 invite. But yeah, with that in mind, I could imagine that he was very nervous, but on the other hand, he might be very confident because he was last year Austria Nationals champion. So yeah, that was pretty much my question there.
Well, I knew that I'm in top 8, but I also knew that doesn't mean anything. So I stay focused and I wanted to play game after game. Yeah, so I did, and well, unfortunately it didn't turn out so well. But yeah.
So the top 8 game was against...
Yeah, it was again against Luca.
Yeah.
Which I already faced in round 4. This time we played on stream, which was really cool because I had a look at the game afterwards when it was uploaded.
Yeah.
And the commentators said that, you know, it's really funny. If you know these 2 guys, they are most of the time they are laughing and joking, but now they both seem so intense. It was really, it was like this because Luca also played for top 22, and he didn't know if his top 8 placement would be enough. So he wanted to play for top 4 to be sure.
Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to reach finals, so we had to play. And yeah, those 2 games, I already said I watched the game afterwards, and I found out that in each game I made one big misplay, but somehow because I got really lucky in some situations, I won the match. Because I hit in the second game, I hit max elixirs like a god. I think I had one turn where I hit 3 max elixirs onto a Jolteon and a Manectric because I had no energies. I think I had no energies on my field because he knocked out my active Mega Manectric, I think, and I promoted Jolteon, and then I had 2 max elixirs on my hand because I drew them off the prizes or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And I played those 2 max elixirs onto the Mega Manectric. Then played N. I had 4 prize cards left, and I drew Spirit Link, Mega Manectric, Max Elixir, Shaman. So I evolved, played Max Elixir, retreated, played Max Elixir on the Jolteon, hit it, and set up for 6. And yeah, from then on I had the control. Also, Parallel City is a really big factor in this game and this matchup because in both games I managed to play Parallel City and in the same turn end him down to 2 cards, I think. So and
that's huge.
He really struggles to recover from that. So that was really good. And yeah, that's how I won those 2 matches. I mean, the first game I had a really cool play because he knocked out my active Pokemon. I don't remember what it was, but it doesn't matter. And I had a Jolteon because I had a kind of rough start. I had a Jolteon on my bench with a Lightning Energy, and I promoted it. And then I played DC on it, played Muscle Band on it, and set up for 5 or 6, and then I drew the Giovanni, and with Giovanni I knocked out the Mega Rayquaza, and he really did. So I dealt 220 exactly 220 damage with the Jolteon, and he really didn't expect that, and it was, I think he didn't knock out the Jolteon in the next turn. So that was really good there. It was a really cool play. I really like it.
As you mentioned, Giovanni came in clutch a lot of times.
Giovanni is so good. In Mega Manectric decks, I think it's a must. It's so good. 130 is so good. That's also why I play 2 Retriever and Muscle Band. It's just so good. Against Greninja, Baby Yveltal. Okay, Baby Yveltal does have lightning weakness, but sometimes they play Shadow Circle. You never know.
Okay, so after a while we were discussing the fact that Giovanni's and obviously the Tool Retriever to remove the Spirit Link and to attach the Muscle Band to the Mega Manectric are both ways to bring the damage up to 130, which seem to be one of the goal numbers, as he mentions, Greninja, Yveltal, Baby Yveltal, and so on and so forth.
Tool Retriever is just so good with the Spirit Links. I always play, normally if I play Mega Pokemon decks, I always play 3 Spirit Links and 1 with Tool Retriever. I think the Tool Retriever is so good. The downside of Tool Retriever is of course you have to draw it in the right time.
Yeah.
But you're more flexible with it, so I kind of like the trade-off to be more flexible than have a 4th Spirit Link. Also with the Muscle Band, because if I hadn't played the Muscle Band, I wouldn't play the Tool Retriever, but also with the Muscle Band to play it onto a Mega Manectric, which you evolved with the Spirit Link is really good.
Usually before I do an interview, I take the list and just play a couple of games online, and I felt like it was very good, the one Tool Retriever. And I drew it in the right times, often enough at least.
Yeah, if you do, it's so good.
Yeah.
Also, I played. Also, what is really good with Tool Retriever is in case you're facing the mirror, Tool Retriever into this game because most of the time the regular Manectric has to attack to achieve these numbers. and with 2 Retriever you're kind of safe from that. So yeah, 2 Retriever, huge fan.
So you went into top 4?
Yes, top 4 I unfortunately faced Night March West Between, which I already said is my worst matchup. Because Night March as itself is okay because I have Jolteon. It's not favorable, but I have a game plan. I can, sweep with Jolteon, AZ my unnecessary Pokemon up. And against West Queen, I have Perilous City, which is really good against West Queen if they don't expect it. Also, they only play. I don't even know if they play Stadium, or doesn't matter. So against West Queen, it's also very good. The matchup, I feel also very confident against something like what won in the end. Günther played West Queen Zorog.
Yeah.
I felt like that matchup is actually really good. But Night March combined with West Queen, that's not so good. Because if I go straight Jolteon, they hit me with West Queen. If I go the Mega Manectric route, they just start sweeping with Night March Joltix, and this little thing does 100 and whatever damage. It's just it's just a really bad matchup. But okay, let's go over it. Game 1, my hand was really bad, but I started 2 Jolteon and enough energy because I play 14 energies. It's a really high count. But I think you have to play it because you don't want to whip these Max Elixirs against Night March ever. So, but yeah, whatever. I had a really bad hand, but the 2 Jolteons. So I went first, which is really good in this matchup. If you don't go first in this matchup, I think you can basically scoop. Because your opponent can evolve the West Queens before you can do anything, because it's very unlikely that you attack with Jolteon turn 1, although it's possible. But yeah, 2 Jolteons and many energies. So I decided to, and no draw supporter, which was really bad. But I had a Shaman though, but I decided not to play it because I had so many energies. And yeah, I decided to attach a basic lightning to the bench Jolteon, and I passed. And then he did what Night March does, discarded everything, and in the end he dealt 160 to my Jolteon active. I was very lucky that you didn't play an escape rope. So my active Jolteon died. I promoted my Jolteon with the lightning energy. I had a DC in the hand, so I drew for turn. Had a Lysander also. That's important. But my opponent had 2 combis on the bench. Because it was so heartbreaking. He played Unknown for Farewell Letter, and with the 1 card he drew off of Farewell Letter, he drew an Ultra Ball, which led to the second combi. And if he didn't bench the second combi, I think I would have won, because I played the Lysander on the 1 combi anyway. Yeah. And I didn't have any Pokemon on the field, so I just hoped, okay, please don't deal 160 damage with this West Queen next turn. But yeah, he did. So turn 2, the game was over. It's just I think it was the best what I could hope for. But because no draw supporters, and it was unfortunate, but okay. So my situation now was, okay, fuck it, I'm 1 game away from top 22. I gotta win this. I somehow have to figure out how to win this. So second game, I choose to go first, of course. And he started with Joltik active, and on his bench were Unknown and Combi. And I'm like, okay, if I draw Escape Rope, that's really good. So I play I played down my cards. I have a Sycamore. I don't have to bench any Shaman, which is really good. I somehow end up with 2 Jolteons and a Manectric on my bench, I think. I didn't know why I benched a Manectric though, but I had to. I know that I had to. Yeah, I also drew Max Elixirs and Energy, so there wasn't any kind of energy problem, which with my list was never during the whole tournament. That was really good. And yeah, I found the escape rope, so I switched my Jolteon for another Jolteon. And he was left active with, I think he promoted the Unknown. And he was unable to find the Float Stone in his following turn, so I gained a turn. And then I attacked with Jolteon and knocked out a combi. And I had 2 Jolteons left on the field. So even if he did knock out a Jolteon with a Vespiquen, I could revenge with the other Jolteon and a Muscle Band. That's also why I played a Muscle Band against Vespiquen.
Yeah.
It's just so versatile, it's so good. And yeah, so, but he didn't even manage to put down enough Vespiquen in time, so he decided to scoop in like turn 4 or 5, because he saw, okay, if I play NAZ on the Mega Manectric, I can just Jolteon and Lysander sweep this game.
Yeah, the
whole game.
Yeah. So he decided to scoop, and now I got nervous. Because I knew, oh my god.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh my god, one single game, and I don't go first. And I was like, oh, I don't go first. How do I win this? How do I win this? And I drew my starting hand, and I saw 2 Jolteon DC Max Elixir. And I'm like, oh my god, please, 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 please. And he played, he had a really good turn, which I expected. But he played N, and I no, this can't be true. I was shaking my head, and well, the hand I drew off the N wasn't bad either, but it wasn't as good. So, because I didn't have a draw supporter, so I had to bench a Shaman on my next turn. But somehow I decided to go the Mega Manectric route. I know that in my first turn, I think, yeah, in the first turn I had a Jolteon active and a Mega Manectric on the bench, and a Shaman on the bench. And I played the Max Elixir, a Max Elixir on my Mega Manectric, and attached a single basic to the active Jolteon, and with the active Jolteon, with the first attack, actually, I knocked out a Joltik of my opponent. So I actually drew the first prize, which is really weird. But yeah, I had so I had 5 prize cards left, and I knew, okay, if I win this, I do this by knocking out another Night Marcher and double Lysander a Shaman. Otherwise, I can't win. That's why I built the Mega Manectric and prayed that it will survive a hit eventually. But well, it didn't. It was such a weird game and so intense. I played an N one time for 4, I think. Yeah, and I drew. Well, before that, I attacked with Mega Manectric's first attack. No, not Mega Manectric, the regular Manectric's first attack overrun, which had a Muscle Band. Oh, yeah, no, it didn't have a Muscle Band. No, I placed 20 on a Combi and 20 on a Joltik. No, 20 on a Pumpkaboo. Okay, now I have it, yeah. And then I drew, he attacked with the Pumpkaboo, which had 20 damage on it, and then I played the N, which I spoke before of, and drew my 2 last cards of the N were DCE Muscle Band, and I Sky Returned for the knockout. So I had 4 prize cards left, and then I promoted Mega Manectric, and he had I had 2 Mega Manectrics on the field, and he had 4 prizes. So it was if I drew my Lysanders, well, he wins if he gets the knockout every turn. So after that end, I played him. I end him to 4, which is really a lot for night march because they can do so much.
It's too much for night march, yeah.
So he knocked out. Yeah, he knocked out the active Mega Manectric, and from that point I knew, okay, he will knock out the other Mega Manectric anyway. So what do? But I had to play Lysander on Shaman, but I couldn't do it because I had to end him, because his hand after he drew those 2 prizes was like 8 or 9. I mean, it was more than his deck size.
Yeah.
So I had to play N, and I played N. He drew 2 cards. I knocked out his Joltik or Pumpkuru, whatever it was. And he drew 2 cards, and he showed me 2 time puzzles, and I'm like, no, this can't be true. And yeah, he played the 2 time puzzles, and he did what he did, and knocked out the Mega Manectric. And yeah, that's how I lost the game.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really sad. I wanted to cry, but I didn't, but I wanted to.
You talked about
that Mega Manectric fits the best for you. Why is that?
I don't know, I feel like I know that's the deck which I know the best. I think it's many people say that they think that it's not consistent. I disagree, because they always said it because it's a mega evolution and you have to draw the right pieces in the right time. But I think if you do, it's really good. And with Trainer's Mail, it's not so hard to do so. I mean, you play 4 Ultra Ball for Trainer's Mail, so the probability that you draw into the Spirit Link when drawn into the regular Manectric before is very high. So most of the time you can, if you draw the Spirit Link, you can attach it to a Manectric.
Yeah.
So I think that's not a good argument there. And yeah, I don't know. I think Mega Manectric is the combination with energy acceleration and low energy cost attack plus 110 damage, which is really good. 110 because of the 180 HP plus Fighting Fury Belt basics, unless their name is Ho-OEX. So yeah, I don't know. I think I know the deck very well, and I feel comfortable playing it. Although I didn't play it that much during the season. But I don't know, I think I can't really give you a reason. I just think it's my deck.
I don't know if it's worth noting, but when I was playtesting Mega Manectric for German Nationals, we had a lot of Vesper, Vileplume, and Trevenant going on, and those are easy, let's say easy matchups as well.
Yeah.
Because you hit good numbers with the 110 for the Trevenants, and
definitely. I also like that. Many decks I tested for Nationals had a liability against Trevenant, because if they Trevenant turn 1, if they Wally turn 1 into a Trevenant, well, you can.
It's pretty much game over.
You can't do anything. But with Mega Manectric, you play Rough Seas. And you play, well, you don't play. You play. What did I want to say? Well, you're not so reliable on the trainer cards, because against Trevenant, if you play Rough Seas, you can take your time and evolve without a Spirit Link. For example, you only need 2 energies. So if they play Energy Denial in any way, it's not so hard to get an attack off. Also, you can reattach the energy from the discard pile. So everything which other decks struggle with while under trainer lock, which is energy acceleration, mainly, Mega Manectric doesn't have a problem. So I really think that I agree with you that those matchups are very good, and also decided that's also why I decided to play the deck.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about switching the Max Elixirs into Mega Turbos?
No, never, because of Jolteon. Because with Jolteon you need it. I also played Mega Turbo in some variants. I tried a 2-2 split, and I just tried to figure out what fits the best. But most of the time, Mega Manectric only needs 2 energies. So if you manage to max Elixir in the right times, so in the early games, you don't have a problem with a Mega Manectric that can't attack. Also, max Elixir, if you draw a Max Elixir for turn and if you draw a Mega Turbo for turn, it's more likely that the Max Elixir is more effective. So that's also why I played the Max Elixir.
You had a very straight deck list. As you said, you had like only 4 draw supporters, but overall it was no techie and shenanigan cards. Would you do any changes to your deck list afterwards, after the tournament, if you had to replay the whole tournament again?
Well, there were definitely cards which I wanted to play also before the tournament, but they just didn't fit in because I had to keep up consistency high, because I only played so little draw supporters. I felt that I have to play the high energy account in case I face Night March, because you don't want to whiff this uses, as I already said, and you need the DCE to make it easier to attack with Jolteon. That's also why I play 4 DCE, which might seem weird in the first place, but yeah. So the cards which I actually wanted to play in the deck is, first of all, the 6-2 first card which I wanted to play was Raikou, just to have a non-EX hitter. I think it would have helped me during the tournament, definitely. Especially in the top 4 matchup. Well, actually I'm not so sure because I have to load it up, but just to have a 1 price attacker is good sometimes. Also against Greninja I think the Raikou is really good, but I felt confident in the Greninja matchup with the Muscle Band and the Giovanni, although I didn't play Hex, but I felt confident in the matchup. So I wanted to play Raikou badly, but I didn't find any space. I also wanted to play Xerosic, but not to discard special energies or tools from my opponent, but to discard my own tools. Because if I discard the Spirit Link, I can attach the Muscle Band. But Tool Retriever turned out to be better. So I decided to play with the Tool Retriever, although with Xerosic there is always the ability to discard the special energies off of your opponent's Pokemon, but Tool Retriever... So it was either Tool Retriever or Xerosic, but I think I already explained why I love Tool Retriever so much. So then there was a Bird Rough Seas, but to be honest I didn't expect so many Trevenant decks. Greninja decks play the Rough Seas for them as well, so I didn't really think that a third Rough Seas was necessary, although it could have helped sometimes. Then I'm a really huge fan of Delinquent in every deck, basically. Also because I play Rough Seas. I attended the regionals in May and I played Water Toolbox with Delinquent, and Rough Seas Delinquent plays are just so cool because you Rough Seas, you activate Rough Seas effect, and then you play Delinquent, and then you play another Rough Seas and heal yourself for 30 twice in a turn. That's really cool. I really like that play. But it's also so good if your opponent doesn't expect it. But I find that in best of 3 games, it's not so good, because if your opponent sees the delinquent for once, they are prepared for it.
Yeah,
they play more conservative.
Yes, and they don't put down their hand size to 3 or less.
Yeah.
So if you played it once, it's a dead card basically. Although it can win you a game if you force your opponent to discard their whole hand. So that's why I considered it. But I didn't play it because again, no space, consistency. Yeah, I think those are the 4 cards which I really like to play, but yeah, I don't find any space. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So as rotation is going to be in September, and we already know that Manectric and Mega Manectric are going to be out of the standard game, standard card pool. We're losing a big part of getting energies from the discard pile back. So do you think that there will be a viable engine to rebuild that system? Like there is a what is the fighting Pokemon called? Which has a break that can.
I know its German name.
I know the German name as well.
Carving.
It's carving. Yeah. So do you think that's a viable option as well, or
yes,
is it?
I think so. I think with the rotation, the Zygarde carving deck will grow in popularity. Just because many threats of this deck won't be in standard format. So yeah, I think I will definitely test it. I also tested it for Nationals, but I didn't feel safe with it. But after rotation, I can definitely see myself playing the deck.
Okay. You said that many times that Mega Manectric fits the best for you. Do you think it's also a viable pick for Worlds, or do you think that the meta changed in a way that Mega Manectric can keep up with this?
The thing is, with 6 Siege legal and at Worlds, I think Night March will be so strong with Pokemon Ranger and Special Charge. I think there's unfortunately so many people will play Night March, especially in day 1, just to have a solid choice to make it to day 2, that I think for day 1, Mega Manectric is definitely a bad choice, because you can't afford to have as many bad matchups as you would have if you played Mega Manectric and expect as much Night March as I do. So unfortunately, I won't play Mega Manectric day 1. That's almost certain.
So for people that are new, can you explain why you said that you won't play it at day 1? Is there a special?
Well, the world structure is some people earn their invites by reaching 300 championship points during the season, and some do extraordinary during the whole season, and for each region there are a different number of places which earn a travel award. So in Europe it's the top 22 players earn a travel award, for which includes a flight to the Worlds and the stay at the Worlds hotel for 5 nights, and the day 2 invitation, which means all those people who earn their invite by grabbing 300 championship points play day 1, and then they can, if they do well in day 1, they advance to day 2, and day 2 there are all the players which earn their day 2 invitation during the season, plus those who advanced from day 1, and then day 2 there's a new tournament, and then it's a standard tournament where the top 8 advances to top cut, and yeah.
So you
and well,
yeah.
with I think that in day 1 you play. Last year it's been 7 rounds, and you have to earn 15 match points. So for a win you get 3, for a tie 1, and for a loss 0 match points. So that basically means you have to win 5 rounds in that 7 rounds. So it doesn't matter if you lose twice, you will advance. However, if you win the other 5 games. So that's why I think that in day 1 many people will choose a safe choice to win at least 5 games, which Night March will definitely be, especially with Pokemon Ranger and Special Charge, which will be released in Steam Siege. I think Night March is so solid, and I think I'm not lying to you. I think 80% of day 1 will play Night March. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just a safe choice, and with that assumption in my head, I won't play Mega Manectric because the matchup is too bad to risk it.
So you said that you won't play it for day 1. So if you advance to day 2, you can change the deck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's important.
Okay. Before we end the interview, I want to ask you, what's your favorite Pokemon? Besides, it doesn't have to be in the TCG or VCG viable, just overall.
My favorite Pokemon, I didn't play the video game that long. I started at the 3rd generation and I ended in the 4th. So although I like the video games, but I don't know, I somehow ended up selling my Nintendos and the games, so I didn't really play them. So I didn't really have a favorite Pokemon until I think it was last summer, where it was last summer after Worlds. We made a trip with some of my German friends, which also played Pokemon. We made a trip to New York City, and there we played a fun tournament, which was the Rappelmann Open. So it was called because we were 8 people in an apartment in New York City, and one day it was raining and we didn't want to go out, so we decided to play the Rappelmann Open. And there I played the Team Magma's Camerupt with the Camerupt EX, and Fatih, in case you've heard his name. And we looked at the pre-evolution of the Camerupt, Numel. And we were like, oh my god, this thing is so cute and so awesome. And we were the whole trip we were shouting Numel. And I think I have to say that from then on, Numel is my favorite Pokemon. It's just so cute, and I have bond with it. It's really. I'm desperately searching actually for a Numel plush. I don't know if there is anyone actually, but yeah, if there is one, I'll find it and I'll buy it.
Yeah, so if there's anyone out there having a Numel plush, just
please give it to me.
Yeah,
I'll pay. Good money.
You'll pay a fortune. I think it's pretty interesting to ask people what their favorite Pokemon is besides the TCG and VCG. They have always some interesting answers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so as I said, thank you for the interview. Thank you for having the time.
No problem.
And for you out there, for the people watching, make sure to check out PTCG Austria.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very great channel. They have featured matches from all over Europe, sometimes deck profiles, and they have high quality content. So make sure to check it out. I probably will link it in the description. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, or write us a message what we can do better, or yeah, just have a nice day.
Was macht Pikachu für eine Attacke? Donnerschock, oder? Und da leuchtet er auch. Also, Pikachu, Donnerschock. Ja! Ist das geil!